Hey listeners, I'm Christy.
And I'm Melissa, and this is Buried Motives, where we dig deep into the details of some of the most gruesome
dirtbag murderers. She said she enjoyed hurting things that can't fight back.
Like if you were only to look at what she did later on and not know any of that history, she would appear like off the wall crazy.
Oh, 100%. She struck him on the back of his head with a frying pan, almost killing him, and was hospitalized for a severely fractured skull.
She fractured his skull. Wow. So the movie Tangled was right. Frying pans are dangerous.
They are. He feels like he is totally justified in the murder that he commits.
Even after he's convicted, he feels justified.
Oh yeah, to this day.
That's a confident dirtbag right there.
That's right. He believes that his victim had it coming.
Join us each Thursday as we unearth the dirtbags that live among us.
And the motives buried there. Hope you join us as we exhume the truth.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
and Beer.
And beer. Like my beer.
I like my beer too, but I just keep forgetting to buy it.
It's two crazy Florida men drinking beer and talking about true crime because it's just better when you hear the story from a couple crazy Florida swamp lizards.
Yes, indeed.
So anyway, that's Todd.
And that is Bill.
And what are you drinking tonight?
Well, the usual when I don't have beer, I'm drinking rum and coke out of my powder blue sippy cup.
Powder blue sippy cup. I don't know why, but I just love it. I love how that sounds when you say it. It sounds cool.
My powder blue sippy cup.
Powder blue.
I'm gonna have to write a song. Powder blue
sippy cup. Powder blue sippy cup. I fill you up. Let's have a party.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I was like, I'm gonna do a parody of Red Solo Cup, but it's gonna be powder blue sippy cup. If I can make it fit and sound right, I don't know. We'll see.
That's a lot of extra syllables, but
yeah,
you can make it work.
I'll see what I can do.
If you don't know what I'm drinking.
This is your first episode.
This is your first episode. Yeah. So I'm drinking Bud Light out of a brown bottle with a blue wrapper. And I still find women amazingly attractive, even though I tend to attract the psychos.
You do. That ain't no lie.
So, once again, ladies, I am available. So I have some adieu.
All right, adieu away.
Several adieus. First off, this is the first episode we recorded in like a month. Because of the fact that we got so far ahead. So what had happened was we recorded William Reese. But backing up about a month and a half or so prior to that, we did the Toolbox Killer episode, and I had just happened to notice that at least 4 different podcasts released Toolbox Killer episodes like the same week that we had done one. It was just weird coincidence. So I'm like, you know what? We're just going to sit on the Toolbox Killer episode for a while. So we record William Reese, and then we recorded the two episodes with the troubled teen industry, and we also released Toolbox Killer in that time.
Not
So, yeah.
we recorded.
Yeah. No, we released Toolbox Killer.
I thought you. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
No, that was the last episode.
I'm confused, man.
But that was the last episode to go out before part 1 of the troubled teen industry. And
Right.
So it's literally been like a month since we've recorded a full. And now we've done the Half Pint episodes, but
Yeah.
it's literally been like a month since we've recorded a full length CKCB episode.
Yeah.
Which leads me to something else. I'm probably going to piss some people off on Twitter or X. I mean, not in a bad way, but I had made a poll. I was just like, what episode do you think is going to be next that we cover after part 2 of the troubled teen industry? And the overwhelming majority of people that participated in that poll picked BTK redo. So they want to hear that.
Yeah, all right.
So we might have to do that before episode 100. A couple people picked Anthill Kids. That one's coming. Yeah. That one is coming. That's coming. Buckle up. But the other 2 that I had put on there was Carl Panzram and the Bay Harbor Butcher. Which obviously is a joke. But
right.
But nobody picked the Bay Harbor Butcher or Carl Panzram, which ironically enough, Carl Panzram was going to be the next episode that we recorded. But then I put together the notes for this one, and I'm just like, nah, Panzram's going to have to wait. This is like the 4th or 5th time that we pushed Carl Panzram to the side. He's got to be in hell getting all pissed off. Like, hurry up and do my episode.
Right. Like, these motherfuckers keep pushing this shit back. What the hell?
But he'll definitely be the next one after this one. For sure.
Well, unless you find something else. Yeah.
No, Carl Panzram is a crazy story, but this one's really crazy. But little more ado, and then we're gonna get started. We got a lot of ado because it's been a month since we recorded one of these things.
Yeah.
So. And we're hoping we're not rusty.
Yeah, this one could suck. This may be like the original BTK episode. Don't listen to this one.
No,
it ain't gonna be like that. It ain't gonna be that bad.
But I do think that we're gonna do BTK before episode 100 because episode 100 is 6 months away.
Yeah.
But there's all that new stuff coming out and everything. We got to wait till that resolves itself.
Yeah. I mean, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I could talk. Sure, I could talk. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why we were waiting is to get the new info.
Yeah. But, so we did, in episode 3, William Cruz, we had and we've told the story a couple of times. We had the wife of one of the police officers that William killed. Yeah. One of the police officers that William killed. William Cruz killed, and she reached out to us and everything, and we're friends on Facebook now and everything. It was a pleasant experience. And that happened right out of the gate for us. I mean, that was like really weird. I was talking with Morgan on Herman Monsters earlier tonight, and he's never been contacted, and he's got
on what? Say that podcast name again, please.
Human Monsters.
Because you said Herman Munster.
Are you serious? Did I really?
Yeah, you did.
God.
You said Herman Monsters, and I'm like, oh, somebody's been watching the Munsters.
But no, I'd asked him if he had ever been contacted by like loved ones or friends of a victim, and he said no. I'm like, well, shit, it happened to us like right out of the gate, and then today it happened again.
Right on.
I told the guy we were going to mention him and everything. And the reason being is because of the fact that, just like a lot of people, sure, they have empathy for the victims and stuff, but a lot of true crime fans, myself included, I'm not singling anybody out. It's like a lot of times we'll hear it and everything. And we kind of forget that the loved ones of the victims, they're victims too.
Mm-hmm.
Because what had happened with the lady that contacted me after the William Cruz episode, she was looking for podcasts about William Cruz. Well, this guy that contacted me today was not. He just happened to stumble across it because I had boosted the post. So it really just kind of, he listened to it and it just brought it flooding back to him, all the pain. And the first thing he does is contact me. And I'm just like, man, I actually felt bad because of the fact, but he was really cool. He was really nice and everything. His name is Stephen Holder, and he was the boyfriend of Christina Powell, who was one of Danny Rolling's victims.
Oh.
And, we talked, and he told me about her, and, it was heartbreaking and everything. And it's just like, I'm hearing about this young lady from her boyfriend at the time. And, and it's just, it kind of hit me rough. So it's just like there's two different circumstances about how these people stumbled across our show.
Yeah.
One was looking for it, the other one wasn't. And he was really cool. He was really nice and all that stuff. And I was just like, I'd like to think that I've made a new friend. It seems like I did, but it's just, this things that you don't expect are going to happen when you're doing a true crime podcast,
Oh yeah.
But anyway, he was really cool. And, Christina Powell was a really sweet girl. So that was kind of gut wrenching. And, props to you, Stephen. I mean, thank you for reaching out.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, yeah. Thanks. That's cool.
So,
because I mean, like you said,
we
tend to forget about stuff like that.
Yeah, I get contacted by cult survivors all the time, but this is, because I am one, but this is different. Yeah. This is different. I mean, this is a lot more personal, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody died as a result of being in the cult, but we won't go there.
No, we're not going to do that. Not today.
But, no, not on this episode. This episode is on the slave master, John Robinson.
All right. Slave master.
Let me tell you, I mean, by the time that we get done with this, you are going to agree that this was a very good episode to push Carl Panzram back again.
Yeah, well, we hope so, at least, anyway.
No, dude, trust me. You're going to be on the edge of your seat.
I hope not. It's uncomfortable on the edge of my seat.
Okay, well, you're good. You'll be on the edge of your seat in spirit.
Oh, I'm always on the edge of my seat in spirit.
So anyway, I have no more ado. Do you?
I have no ado.
Okay.
No, not really.
It's been a month and you have no ado. I figured if there was any episode you were going to have a do on, but anyway, our listeners are saying, "Fuck the ado, get on with it."
Yeah, right. So now I have no ado. Get on with it.
All right. So John Robinson, he was. Hold on, where's my mouse? My mouse is missing. Okay, got it. Got the mouse. Well, that's what happens when you have like multiple screens and stuff like that.
Oh, so you didn't actually lose your mouse itself? You lost where it was on this, which screen it was on.
Right.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So
I have yet to have that problem, but I will soon.
Yeah, I have 3 screens going right now.
Right on.
So, John Robinson was a con man, an embezzler, a kidnapper, a forger, and a serial killer.
Okay. But one thing he wasn't was a decent human being.
This is true. This is very true. In fact, I don't think there's ever been a truer statement said on this podcast.
John Robinson may have been a lot of things. Anyway.
Damn it. But he was a cocktail of shit stained, shaken, not stirred. he was into BDSM and torture as well, but that comes later. He killed at least 8 women between 1984 and 2000. I say at least because this is another one where I'm sure there are more victims, and so are the law enforcement officers.
Right.
So he was born December 27th, 1943 in Cicero, Illinois, west of Chicago. There's lots of mob history in Cicero, and yes, I've been there.
Of course you have.
Al Capone had an office there, and there was even a famous shootout in a neighborhood there.
All right.
He was the third of 5 kids, and his father was a machinist as well as an abusive alcoholic who was very strict, and his child rearing got more frequent and more violent when he was drunk, which was all the time. But his mother wasn't a drunk, but she was also very strict and mean. So let's just say that John and his siblings were not spoiled.
Yeah, I guess not.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah.
They weren't spoiled.
Not apparent. Yeah, I guess not.
And it's speculated that because of the history of the mob that happened in Cicero could have been the spark that made him, he could have been enamored with the mob lifestyle and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have had something to do with what he did, because some of the shit that he did was kind of, it sounded like a racket that the mob would run.
All right.
So as a boy, John enrolled in Quigley Preparatory Seminary in Chicago. It was a private school for white boys.
I was going to say that. You fucking beat me to
it. Pee Wee Gaskins episode.
Yeah.
Nah. It was just boys. It was to prepare them for priesthood, because at the time he wanted to become a priest when he grew up.
Oh, that's a red flag right there.
Not really. Not in this case. Not in this case, because he doesn't do what you would expect priests to do.
Yeah.
In true crime stories, none of that happens.
All right.
There's no kid diddling, no animal abuse, none of the stuff that really just makes you want to curl up underneath your desk and hide.
None of the stuff that bothers me.
Right. There's none of that there, but there's plenty of other shit.
Okay.
So he was kicked out after a year because he was a bad student with bad grades, and he was constantly getting into fights and being disrespectful to authority. Maybe that's code for he wouldn't let the priest diddle him, but I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. You never know.
It could be.
Code. I love it. Oh, that's great.
He was also an Eagle Scout, and his Scout choir even traveled to London to sing for Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, all right.
And while there, he met Judy Garland.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not even setting you up for something here, because I know that's
okay. Because usually you do, but all right.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to do that in this episode. I really don't. But
you might, but it's all right.
I might, but I'm not planning on it at this point. If I do, it'll be off the top of my head, because I didn't write one in like I usually do when I do these things.
Okay. All good.
But when he met Judy Garland, he said to her, "Us Americans got to stick together," and she actually responded to this. So take a guess at how she responded.
There's no place like home.
Good guess, very good guess, but no.
Okay, then I have no idea. What did she probably be rating for me? No, she wouldn't have done that. I don't know.
No, she gave him a kiss on the cheek, and she said, "You're right." And there's a picture of this.
Oh.
And that picture wound up in the newspaper, like a bunch of newspapers in the United States.
Oh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I was kind of right.
Mm-hmm. There's
With
no
my
place
first
like
guess.
home. Yeah,
There's no place
actually,
like home.
yeah, true. Us Americans got to stick together
Yeah.
because they were in London. So,
Anyway.
in 1961, he enrolled in Morton Junior College to become a radiographer, but he dropped out after 2 years. And in 1964, he moved to Kansas City, and he married Nancy Jo Lynch, and they got busy.
They got busy. I love it.
Their first child, John Jr., was born in 1965. They had a daughter, Kimberly, in 1967, and then twins, Christine and Christopher, in 1971.
Okay.
So he got a job as a radiographer using fake credentials.
Now, what exactly is a radiographer?
It's like a X-ray technician. So it's something like that.
Okay, because so like a radiologist. Then I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering.
I wrote radiographer. I wrote radiographer.
But it's radiologist then?
It's radiologist, yeah.
All right, cool. See, just checking.
Thank you.
I was just wondering if they did. I was just wondering if they changed the name between then and now. You know
well,
I'm
glad that you brought that up because that comes up. You know, it comes up like one or two more times, and I don't know why people think I was a total idiot. Even though if they've been listening long enough, they know I'm a total idiot. But,
yeah, and I'm sure the people that have been listening for a long time are surprised that I corrected you because I would have because I'm an even more total idiot than you, and I would have just let it go.
Actually, the truth is, we're not idiots.
We're really,
but
not.
We play them on TV.
Yes. We're not idiots. We play them in podcasts.
Right. But he got a job as a radiologist using fake credentials, and that didn't last long because he clearly didn't know what the hell he was doing. So, because remember, he didn't get his degree, so he was fired.
I would hope so.
Yeah. It's like I could just see it right now. He runs a scan on somebody, and it comes back to the doctor, and he says, well, I can't really tell anything about your spine, but it appears that you are pregnant with an elephant.
Jesus.
So, in 1969, John was working for Dr. Wallace Graham, who was the personal doctor to President Harry Truman.
Oh.
No word on whether or not he met Harry Truman, but he worked for the doctor. He was hired as... Huh?
I was going to say, I would say he probably didn't because...
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to require a level...
Security clearance
level that is beyond just employees.
Yeah, and Truman was president at the time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I would think that...
Oh, wait, no, he wasn't. In 1969, Truman wasn't the president at the time.
Oh, no, Kennedy was.
Yeah, but okay, so he had been... Well, actually, no, he was still the doctor of President...
Yeah.
Because when you leave the office...
You're still president.
Trump is still President Trump. Obama is still President Obama.
Yeah.
Even though they're not the acting president, the sitting president anymore.
The title, like former president or whatever, the title stays.
Right. Okay. So, yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Like I said, I'm a dumbass. So, John was hired as the office manager, and he was arrested because he had been embezzling, and he embezzled $33,000 from the practice, which almost put Dr. Graham out of business.
Ouch. All right.
Yeah, $33,000. And so he was arrested, and he got 3 years probation for it.
That's it?
That's it!
Man... All right.
I mean, $33,000 back then was probably like $300,000 now.
Yeah, at least.
So, but he violated his probation by moving to Chicago without his probation officer's permission. So he got a job as an insurance salesman. And in 1971, yeah.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. In 1971, he was arrested for, wait for it, embezzlement.
Embezzlement, again. There's a surprise.
Yeah, and he was ordered back to Kansas City, and his probation was extended. That's it. No jail time.
Oh, Jesus, really? He's stealing like thousands of dollars from these people, and they just let him on. Like, all right, fine.
And breaking probation.
Yeah, he violated his probation, dude. That shit. You go back to jail. You go to jail for that shit.
I mean, hell, if you're on probation for something and you get, say, caught in like the same vicinity of somebody smoking a joint, you could go back to jail nowadays. Whether you smoked it or not, if you're around it, you could go to jail for that's a violation of probation.
Exactly.
Anyway, it seems to me that he's really good at embezzling, but he got too greedy.
Well, they always do.
Yeah. Like if I steal $1 from your wallet, you're probably not going to notice it. But if I stole your debit card, you'd notice it immediately. So, but John still didn't take the hint, and he was arrested yet again. This time for securities and mail fraud from a phony medical consulting company that he had formed. So this guy's just all over the place. You froze.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Well,
I was just going to say, though, that, I mean, if he'd spend as much time, like, actually learning something, like, to do something legitimate as he does trying to figure out ways to scam people, he'd have been a decent guy.
Yeah, he would have.
I mean,
absolutely,
like running all these scams that he's running, dude, I mean, that takes time and intelligence and preparation. And I was like, dude, just whatever.
Just do the right thing.
Yeah, but I guess not everybody's wired that way.
Nope. But in 1977 he became. But you see what I mean about like it going back to the mob.
Oh yeah.
Because all of this shit was shit that the mob did. So it's like it's very possible that he could have easily, that he could have been like influenced and enamored with that, and he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a wise guy. Speaking of fucking wise guys, we came up with that term for our listeners, and we haven't used it since.
I know.
I guess that means it wasn't
about that.
I guess that means that it wasn't good enough. We got to come up with something better.
Yeah, we got to come up with something better.
Yeah, because if it was that good, we would have remembered it. But so in 1977, he became a scoutmaster as well as a Sunday school teacher.
Oh boy.
BTK vibes.
Oh boy.
Oh, and get ready to laugh. He also became he also became a member of the board of directors of a local charity. And there he forged letters from the chief executive director of the charity to the mayor of Kansas City, naming himself the charity's Man of the Year.
Shit. Oh, my Atlanta.
He then put together a luncheon in his own honor. And I'm sure that many donations to his wallet were received during that luncheon.
Oh boy, yeah, all right. I was just gonna say that too. I mean, he became a part of this charity. So how much money did he embezzle from them?
Yeah, and then this luncheon, obviously it's a charitable function and everything, so you're just like...
That all went to him.
Thank you,
yep.
thank you, here, thank you. Why are you putting the money in your wallet? It's safekeeping. I'm going to put it in the bank where it belongs when we're done here. It's safekeeping. Yeah. I forgot my money bag. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
My money bag. Jesus.
Make it out to John Robinson cash. Or no, just make it out to cash.
Just make it out to cash. It'll be fine. It will be fine.
Told you were going to like this one.
So far.
But I think John and Michael Lang would have gotten along pretty well.
Yeah. Anyway.
One of our recurring characters. You guys have been on for a while. I was thinking about doing one for this one, but I forgot about it. But...
Like I forget to buy beer.
Or do the videos on YouTube, or set up your studio,
set up my studio, or all the other things that I procrastinate.
Right. So,
if you've listened to us for any amount of time, you know that I'm king procrastinator.
Yeah. But to the majority of the people that knew John, he was just an ordinary, average John. I had Joe written down, but I just threw John in there. But still, it's just, I don't want to imply that he was a frequenter of prostitutes, because he wasn't.
Okay, because that's where my mind went.
I know. And as soon as I said that, I was like, shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Should have said that.
Gone there. Yeah.
That's great.
But he was even the Santa Claus at his church.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is that he was a master manipulator. And he had multiple affairs with women. And at this point, his wife didn't know about him, about them. But he was running around on his wife and everything. And we're going to get into just how weird this is moving forward. But
all right.
So in 1979, John finished his probation, but take a guess. What happened?
Oh, I don't know what happened.
He was arrested for embezzlement and check forgery.
Well, okay. I mean, I said that earlier, so I figured I already guessed. It had to be something else.
He can't help himself. But this time he actually got jail time, and because of his rap sheet, he got, take a guess, 60 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. Take a guess.
Well, geez, I don't know. Well, everything else has been so weak. I'm gonna have to say 60 days.
You got it.
Because I mean, shit, dude, he got arrested for it twice and was just given probation, so it had to be the least amount of time, right?
Right. So yeah, you got that one. Yeah, I thought if I want you to get something, I'll have to do multiple choice.
Yeah, that helps.
Because you hit that one out of the park.
I'm good at multiple choice, but when I just have to guess out of nothing, that's.
I don't know. There's been times where you've just come up with it right spot on. I was just like, holy crap. How the hell did you get that?
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it. If you want to hear it, you'll just have to listen to every single episode we've ever done.
Yeah.
And you'll find it.
You'll find it eventually.
Yeah. So after his, it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. After his release, he started a fake hydroponics lab.
What? Where did that even come from?
I don't know.
Jesus.
I mean, it was a fake one. It wasn't like he was actually doing it. It was just it was just a fake hydroponics lab.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess he read about hydroponics or something and just said, hey, that's a funky name. I'll just do that. Well,
he had an angle because every scam that he ran worked until he got sloppy.
Yeah.
So he knew what he was successful at running these scams, but he just either got greedy or whatever happened. I mean, he was a very good con man. He just wasn't a good finisher.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
So but with this hydroponics lab, he began writing leaflets as well as awards for his writing. He wrote his own awards for his writing.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say to that. All right.
This guy was just fake. I mean, it just.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that I'd be able to smell that guy, but I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would. I really don't know if I'd be able to be like, okay, you're just full of shit, dude. Get the fuck away from me. Because so many people bought into his bullshit.
Right.
But this next part, this is probably the shittiest thing that he's done thus far.
Okay.
He had a friend of his give him $25,000 as an investment into the hydroponics lab. And he promised the friend a fast return on his investment. So, and it would like double, triple, quadruple, or whatever his investment, like in record time. But it was his friend his friend believed him, and he did this so that his friend could pay his wife's medical care, and his wife was dying.
Oh, Jesus. No, fuck. He scammed his friend out of $25,000. Oh my God.
That could have been.
That could have saved it or helped save his wife's life. Maybe.
No, it could have prolonged his wife's life. She was. I don't. It didn't really say what she was dying of, but whatever it was terminal. She was dying. But still, it's just like, he robbed this guy of maybe another month with his wife.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months, whatever, 6 months. The $25,000 would have done that. Not to mention the debt that he's got and everything, and all that stuff for services already rendered and whatnot. And it's just that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. That's fuck me. All right.
Yeah. So now it's starting to get to the point where you actually fucking hate this guy, because before it's just like, oh yeah, embezzlement here, embezzlement there, yeah, it's fire,
Yeah.
But
oh, there he is.
But yeah, but now it's just what he did to the so-called friend. I mean, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. That's fucking terrible.
So in 1984, John's starting a consulting company called Equa2.
Okay.
And the only thing that it really consulted was women, and he just kind of used it as a front to meet and rob women.
Oh, Jesus.
And sleep with them.
Oh, he's got good marketing skills.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. So if you remember at the beginning of the episode, I said that he killed from 1984 to 2000. We're at 1984 now.
Uh-oh.
So.
All right, here we go.
In 1984, he hired 19-year-old Paula Godfrey as a sales rep for Equa2, the company that didn't really exist.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just had a thought in my head about the intro to Knight Rider. A shadowy flight into the world of a consulting firm that doesn't exist. But
oh God, does anybody even remember Knight Rider?
Well, we do.
Yeah, but we're old. Anyway,
speak for yourself. I'm turning 30 in a couple days.
Oh, okay.
30 with 20 years experience.
All right, then. We'll go with that.
Yeah. So, of course, by the time this episode comes out, I'll be 30 for a week or two.
Right. Anyway.
Hashtag, but I digress. Paula had just finished, she had just graduated high school with honors, and she had interested in a career in business and everything. And she had told her family that she had answered a classified ads, about this position. And so she interviewed with John, and she was hired. So, so she was excited. She told her family that John had offered her this position that included excellent benefits, and she'd be able to travel the world. It was, it was a golden opportunity for a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. Yay!
Of course it was.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! The last communication that anyone had with Paula, she called her grandmother to tell her that she was going to San Antonio for business, and that she would be taking a train, and then she disappeared without a trace.
Oh, damn it, man.
But one thing, they're up there in Kansas City. Why would you take, if this guy is everything that he says he is, why would you take a train from Kansas City to San Antonio? You just jump on a fucking plane and fly. You'd be there in 2 hours.
Well, you'd think so, but yeah. It's a new company. Maybe he didn't have enough money for a plane ticket.
Well, I don't know.
Well, we all know the real reason, but anyway, that's not the point.
Right. Paula's family made a missing persons report to the Kansas City Police Department, but shortly later, Paula's family got a letter in the mail. It was allegedly from Paula, and it was typed. And it said that she was traveling and that life was good. John Robinson was a wonderful person who has helped her start a new life, and she was happy as she could be.
Mm-hmm.
And it was signed with her actual signature.
Okay.
So this letter, or a variation of it, went out to several families over the years. But really, and you really can't blame the Kansas City Police Department for what I'm about to tell you, because put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
This seemed legitimate to law enforcement because it appeared that a grown woman went away on her own. There's nothing wrong with that, so no cases were filed.
Yeah.
And there was the letter, even though it was typed. Like on a typewriter, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
Mm-hmm.
And John wasn't really on anybody's radar at this point, other than for like embezzlement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And fake hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
But but plus the supposed destination of these women and their families, they were all in different locations where the letters had come from. And, so there were no red flags that popped up. It was just like, okay, whatever. So it's just like there was, you really can't blame the Kansas City Police Department for, they're not Dallas.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
But Paula's body has never been found.
Oh, that's a shame.
Around later in 1984, John started giving into a darker side of his personality. He always had a deviant sexual appetite, and he always explored it because, like I said, this guy was a fucking womanizer.
Mm-hmm.
But he developed an interest into the BDSM lifestyle, and he referred to himself as a master or the dominant, and that there were clubs in Kansas City that catered to that lifestyle, and he became a regular at them.
All right.
He was 5'9" and pudgy, kind of potato-esque.
He was a potato. Thanks, Mark.
No, that wasn't Mark. That was me. I came up with the potato.
Did you? I thought they did. Okay, my bad. Thanks, Bill.
No. No. Shit, I'm the one that met that guy. And he reminded me of a potato.
All right.
So he's definitely not a looker, but he had serious game.
Yeah, well,
So during the day, he would run his scams and hook up with women, but at 5 o'clock, he would turn that off and go home and be a family man. But at some point, his wife did find out about the affairs, and she didn't care.
Oh, all right.
In fact, neither of them wanted a divorce, so she was probably so brainwashed by John at that point that she thought that this was normal. But everybody does this. That's just how it is.
He does this.
And she's a victim as much as anybody else in this story.
Yeah, yeah, she got to be.
Yeah, I mean, there are cases like Jerry Brutus, for example, where it's like, come on, you had to have known. But not this one. Not this one.
Yeah, right.
Jerry Brutus is one that we'll cover at some point. Later in 1984, John started an organization called Kansas City Outreach, which was supposedly a charity to help young single mothers. And he would try to get hospitals to sign on to the charity for unwed mothers, saying that he would put the girls up into an apartment and take care of them. And so he's networking. So he even called up a legitimate organization that did exactly that. It was called Birthright.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked into him. And Birthright, they called BS on John.
Oh, they smelled him.
Yeah.
Right on.
One of the officers that Birthright talked to is a guy named Stephen Hames, and this guy's a fucking rock star. He thought that he was looking, he just had the thought that he was looking to take the babies and sell them and then traffic the mother. So
all right.
He wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
But he contacted the FBI and the FBI wasn't aware of any baby thefts in the area. In 1985, using the alias of John Osborne, Robinson met 19-year-old Lisa Stassi and her 4-month-old daughter Tiffany. Lisa had been married, but she and her husband had split up, and her husband then joined the military and was deployed. But they had split up before that happened anyway. But she was staying at the Hope House, which was a shelter for homeless women in Kansas City, and Lisa had told relatives that she was, working with an organization called Kansas City Outreach, an organization designed to assist young mothers. She had been referred to it by the hospital that she had been taking her baby to for, postnatal care and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the hospital thought that Kansas City Outreach would be a good fit for Lisa, based on the propaganda and the literature and everything that John had presented.
Yeah, right.
They were duped, obviously.
Yeah, they believed the lie.
Yeah. And once again, I'm not pointing the finger. This guy was a fucking master at what he did.
Yeah, the guy was really smooth, man. Obviously. Yeah.
So John Robinson had presented the program to Lisa as a way to receive free room and board while studying for a GED. And he promised Lisa a job and a stable living situation in Chicago. And he asked her to sign several sheets of blank stationery.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Never sign blank pieces of paper.
Yeah, right.
Never sign. But there's a pattern developing, and we're gonna get to that. So, I mean, it's just, I don't blame Lisa for this at all. Lisa and Tiffany, or John checked Lisa and Tiffany into room 131 at the Roadway Inn in Overland Park, which is a suburb of Kansas City, in early January of 1985. And Lisa told her relatives that, quote, Mr. Osborne had arranged and paid for their new accommodations.
They're not calling him Ozzy? Come on now.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, and obviously a hotel room is a lot better than a shelter. You're by yourself, privacy, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So on January 9th, Stacy visited her sister-in-law, Kathy Klingensmith, where she told him about her arrangements. And she was just chilling there and everything. But on January 10th, Robinson, in the middle of a snowstorm, no less, Robinson arrived at Lisa's sister-in-law's house, and he picked up Lisa and Tiffany and returned them to the motel. He was upset that Lisa had left the hotel, and he demanded that she and Tiffany leave with him right then and there. So they jumped into his car and they took off. They left behind Lisa's car, baby food, clothes, stuff that, I don't know, you might need for a baby.
Yeah, no shit.
And that never set well with Kathy, the sister-in-law.
Yeah. As it should. I mean, it shouldn't sit well with anybody. Seriously.
Right.
Anyway.
So the very next night, Lisa called her mother-in-law crying, and she's asking the mother-in-law, "Why are you trying to take my baby away from me?" And the mother-in-law was confused. She's like, "What? Nobody's trying to take your baby." And Lisa's like, "They made me sign 4 blank sheets of paper." And the mother-in-law, she says, "Under no circumstances sign anything." The mother-in-law's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right.
And it's like, nobody's trying to take your baby. And the mother-in-law said that there was genuine fear in Lisa's voice. And then Lisa said, "Here they come. I've got to go." And that was the last time anybody heard anything from Lisa.
Oh, man.
A couple days after Lisa went missing, the mother-in-law, Lisa's brother, and a brother and sister-in-law, and a shelter all received the exact same letter, typed, thanking the people for all of their help and how much she appreciated it. She said she was leaving Kansas City to make a new life for herself. And she also said that Tiffany deserved a real mother who could take care of her.
Holy shit. Wow, man. Oh, fuck.
Well, Get this. It was signed Lisa Elledge Stasi. Her full legal name, including her middle name.
Yeah.
When you're writing a letter to family, you're not going to write. You're not going to sign it with your full name.
That. Yeah, no, you wouldn't do that.
It's just like if I was writing a letter to a family member, I'd just put Bill.
Yeah, exactly.
I might put my last name. I'm damn sure not writing my full legal name. Not to a family, not to family.
Yeah, they know who you are. You don't need to do that shit.
Right.
Fuck.
So, the family didn't buy it.
Good.
But once again, there was no evidence of foul play. It just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Suspicious?
I see that, yeah.
Suspicious, yeah, but
definitely.
But there's no evidence other than this fucking potato-looking motherfucker saying, "Get the fuck out of here! How dare you leave my fucking hotel room?"
Yeah, right.
"I'm here to take care of you and your baby, but let's leave all the baby supplies in your car."
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's just at this point, it just. I mean, that one should have raised some eyebrows, and actually, it did.
Well, I hope. Yeah, good. All right.
On January 10th, Stephen Hames, he was, at this point, he was unaware of Lisa's situation, and he decided to confront John because, like I said, he smelt bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So he wrote John a letter. And then later, learning what had happened to Lisa, he blamed himself for not only for contacting John, he blamed himself not only for not contacting John sooner, but also for not doing it in person.
Okay.
He should have just walked in, just like, "Dude, I'm on to you, you piece of shit."
Yeah, right.
And he actually, thought that if he had acted sooner, maybe Lisa would still be alive.
Yeah.
But in the letter, Hames requested John come in and talk to him, and he did. And because remember, he had contacted Birthright.
Uh-huh.
So, and Hames said that this had something, that this was in reference to Birthright. So he's just like, okay, well, maybe they need to do a background check on me or something like that, whatever. whatever. I'm speculating,
Right.
but he went because he thought that it was, it had something to do with a potential partnership with Birthright, which is what he wanted. But Hames asked if John's Cherry was incorporated and whether or not they were a nonprofit, and John's just like, "Nah, we're working on that. We just want to give back to the community."
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start the CKCB outreach program. Give me the baby.
I want the baby. I want my baby back, baby.
Ribs.
Oh boy, we're idiots. Fuck.
But he had to let John go because John is a master bullshit artist and everything like that. And every question that like Hames like put his way, he was able to twist out of. So it's just like they found themselves like going back and forth in circles and all that stuff, and it just seemed perfectly normal. It's like to anybody listening, it would seem like it was just a normal conversation or whatever. This guy was a fucking master at manipulating and redirecting and all that stuff.
Right.
But so he let John go, but John was on Hames' radar, and Hames never stopped watching John, but put a knife in that.
Oh.
In January of 1987, 27-year-old Catherine Clampett left her child with her parents in Wichita Falls, Texas, and moved to Kansas City to live with her brother's family and find a job. So she answered an advertisement for Equa2, a management consulting firm in Overland Park, Kansas. Shortly after her arrival, which promised extensive traveling and a new wardrobe, benefits, the whole 9 yards, Robinson hired her, and he put her up in several local hotels over the time they were there. But they were near the Equa2 offices. Air quote. Offices.
I was going to say, there's got to be quotes around that, right?
Yeah.
Because there can't be a real office.
There might be a storefront that he's got, that he pays, that he pays for, about the size of fucking Marino's Speakeasy.
Right on.
Probably equally as nice as Marino's Speakeasy, but minus the smell of fucking rancid sardines and fucking methanol.
And methanol. Oh, Mike the Durable.
Episode 1.
Yes.
But on June 15th, 1987, Clampett left to have a meeting with Robinson, and she was never seen since. But then again, letters began arriving. Handwritten letters. These were actually handwritten letters asking, about her kid and saying, "Oh, she's doing great," and all that stuff. And these were handwritten. So
she actually wrote them? Or he's becoming a forger now?
No, she wrote them. He probably told her what to write, or maybe hinted at what to write. I doubt he said. I doubt he held a gun to her head. Well, actually, he might have.
I was going to say, yeah,
because he killed her right after.
He probably wrote this shit under duress. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But now take that knife out.
All right. It's out.
Sorry,
it's the same sound.
Yeah. Hames had been doing due diligence on John. He had interviewed hospitals and ultimately got to the one that had referred Lisa to the Kansas City outreach. They told Hames that Lisa and Tiffany hadn't been seen in quite some time. So Hames at this point was convinced that John was a serial killer.
Good for him.
He wasn't yet. No, actually, Clampett was number 3. That makes him a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But there was a string of missing girls in the area. So Hames wanted to arrest John for something else to get him off the street, kind of like what happened with Capone.
Yeah.
Racket, he's a ruthless mob boss, but we're going to arrest him for racketeering.
Didn't they get him for tax evasion? I thought it was tax evasion.
Yeah, that's what it was, tax evasion. If we cover Al Capone, we're bringing Vic on.
Fuck yeah.
Because that was so awesome with that episode about John Gotti. That was amazing.
Yeah, dude. If we do anything like that, any kind of shit like that, Vic has to be on it because he has that insight that we don't have,
Yep, exactly. Vic is awesome.
Yep.
Love Vic. One of our favorite guests, even though when we first started the show, we're like, we'll never have guests on the show.
Yeah. We were so fucking short-sighted when we started this, and now we've learned that it's a much bigger world, and we're adapting.
Yeah, but a lot of podcasts don't have guests. We do. But
we do now.
Yeah, now. But we do it because it's fun.
Yeah, it is. Especially when the guest has like either personal knowledge of the topic or like Vic. Vic has a lot of background knowledge because, he was a police officer. So he has a lot of
a New York City detective.
Yeah. So he has a lot of knowledge that isn't that we wouldn't put into the stories that we talk about. So I love having Vic on.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope we get to meet him at CrimeCon.
I hope so too.
I'm going to have to call him.
Put a link into because he has a podcast now too, right?
Yeah.
We'll put a link to his podcast too. You guys can go check him out if you feel so inclined.
He's on the website on the Friends of CKCB page.
Oh, he is? Okay. Well, shit.
Yeah.
I guess I should check out the website.
But
I'm such a slacker.
Oh, by the way, since we're digressing a little bit, Natasha, on the Prison Tender episode, on her podcast, she's talking. All of a sudden, she comes out with a takak.
Oh, that's great. Oh, shit.
Anyway, hashtag but I digress. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it anymore for this episode. I mean, we still got a ways to go.
Oh man! All right, I'm just kidding. Let's go.
Fuck you, dude. This
is good. I know it's good. Let's go.
This is one of the craziest stories that we've covered, and we're not even to the really crazy part yet.
Oh, okay.
So they got him on fraud, first in Kansas, plain old Kansas.
Not Arkansas.
Not Arkansas, plain old Kansas. and on multiple fraud convictions, and later in Missouri for another fraud. What the fuck? I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
Later in Missouri for another fraud conviction and parole violations.
Oh, so you tried to say parole and fraud at the same time. That's where prod came from.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, what the hell did I even do there? But so they arrested him and he was convicted. So between 1987 and 1993, John was incarcerated, and he was at the Western Missouri Correctional Facility. And
for
there,
white boys?
I knew that was coming. I was trying to get the sentence going before you said it.
I know.
I have failed.
Into hiding you must go.
Into hiding I must go.
Fuck, we're idiots.
But while there, he met 49-year-old Beverly Bonner, the prison librarian.
Oh,
Suki.
Bum chicka bum bum.
Yeah, pretty much. He manipulated her while he was in prison, and you might say he had a captive audience. Got him.
Yeah, you got me.
So, but they began, they began an affair in prison. So I guess you could say that she swiped right on Prison Tender, even though it was in person.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh,
So-
Prison Tender. I love that. Oh, Jesus.
That's probably one of the coolest things that I've come up with. Is that like the name for like people falling for people in prison, Prison Tender. That's probably one of the coolest things I've come up with.
It is. I love it.
But
I think about that shit all the time, man. Fucking Prison Tender, dude. That's just fucking badass.
But she fell for him, and upon his release in January of 1993, Beverly Bonner left her husband, who was a prison doctor. I wonder if it doesn't say if they were working in the same prison. I'm assuming they probably were not.
I would think not, but you never know.
Yeah, they're working in different. Well, yeah, she's in the library. He's in the medical room, hospital, whatever you want to call it.
Sick bay. Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a prisoner.
I'm a doctor, not a librarian.
Yeah. Anyway.
She moved to Kansas to work for him at his business.
Of course.
And he made her an officer and said business. And he also opened up credit cards in her name. John also arranged for Bonner's alimony checks to be forwarded to a Kansas post office box, not a Kansas City post office box, a Kansas post office box. And her family never heard from her again. And for several years, Bonner's mother had been forwarding her alimony checks to Robinson, and he was cashing them.
Oh, Jesus.
Almost $18,000. So, he had this thing going with her for a while because, alimony checks, divorces they're not quick.
No. He played the long con on this one.
Yeah. Kind of like I won't go there. But,
yeah, right. Anyway.
And her family also began getting letters about how much fun she was having and everything out and about and everything, but they were postmarked from other countries.
Okay.
Put a knife in that.
Oh shit. All right.
You can't say oh shit at the same time you're putting the knife in it, because then you can't hear the sound effect. Okay, thank you. So after his release, Robinson discovered the internet early 90s, and he roamed the online chat rooms using the name Slave Master. We're there now. I'm sure you were wondering when the hell that was going to come up.
Yeah, actually I was, because we're a while into this and nothing's been said about that. So anyway,
right. Other than he took an interest in BDSM.
But, yeah.
Why don't you explain BDSM for our listeners who might, like me, might be just like, well, I know what it is, but I'll be honest. I just want to hear you explain it. That's all.
You want to hear me explain it?
Yeah, I do.
Why? Because I'm not into that, but
I know, but you probably know a hell of a lot more about it than I do.
Yeah, BDSM is bondage, domination, sadism, and masochism. I believe that's what it stands for.
Yes.
So it's bondage, it's torture, it's it's anything from tying somebody up and having sex with them, or spanking them, or beating them with a paddle. I mean, it's leveled.
Anything goes as long as the participants are willing.
Yes, and it has to be consensual, because if it's not consensual, then it's just assault and rape. But yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much consensual assault and rape.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's it's whatever you want it to be. I mean, everybody's seen 50 Shades of Grey. I'm sure it's that.
I haven't.
But
You have?
I watched them
Man
all.
Card Punch, bro.
Huh?
Man Card Punch. That's a chick movie. That's a chick flick.
Not really.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
But it's like that. Even though they kind of lighten it up in there, but it's like that. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Even though that was written by somebody who used to write. What did she write? What was it? Oh, Twilight fan fiction, because that movie's just Twilight with BDSM in it, really.
Are you serious? The person that wrote 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fangirl?
Yeah, she wrote Twilight fan fiction, as far as I know. Like, that's how she started. That's how, I mean, I don't even know if it's a girl. To be honest with you, I'm saying she, because I assume it is.
Okay.
But no, the person that wrote the books, the 50 Shades of Grey books, used to write Twilight fan fiction.
Why does that not surprise me?
Well, because if you watch I haven't read the 50 Shades of Grey books. I just watched the movies. But if you watch the movies, they're just like the Twilight movies, except instead of vampires and werewolves, it's all BDSM. But it's the exact same thing.
Wow.
But anyway, not the point.
My ex-wife was a big Twilight fan, so unfortunately I have seen all of the Twilight movies, but I've not read the books.
Yeah,
but
I watched all the movies too, but I figured out after like the third one.
God, that second one, the second fucking movie when it had the wedding, it was like 45 minutes of the most boring wedding you've ever been to in your fucking life.
That's true. Was that the second one?
I think it was the second one. I don't know.
I don't. No, they didn't get married till the last one, didn't they?
No, they got married in the second one, or it might have been the third one. Yeah, because I saw it in the theater with my ex. The other two, I saw like on DVD or whatever. But the 3 and 4 and 5, because on the fifth one they did what they did with The Hobbit, and like stretched it out just for a cash grab and everything. But
it was like Breaking Dawn was 2 parts, and I thought that's when they got married, but I don't know. Maybe
they got married. They got married in the second one, because I remember seeing that in the theater, and I was just like,
it's been so long since I've seen any of that.
I was just like, I even told my ex-wife, I was just like, I if I had a gun, I would blow my brains out right now. This is so fucking boring.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the whole premise of that movie was just like weird.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. I mean, there's no real person in the world that would be. Well, I don't know. Maybe there is. Not in my circle, but just the whole I love you. I love you. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. I don't know. They do just all the fucking just waffling that goes on in those movies. Is ridiculous.
It's fucking middle school romance is all it is. But
yeah, it's for tweens.
But the guy is a 300-year-old vampire.
Yeah, I know, it was weird. I mean, yeah, it's a tween romance novel basically.
What's the girl? What's the girl's name? The actress. What's her name?
Oh fuck, I can't remember right now.
I can't either.
I wasn't expected to be put on a.
But okay, she was horrible in those movies.
Dude, she's horrible in everything. The best thing she did was play Joan Jett in that Runaways movie.
That's what I was gonna say. She nailed it with that one. She was excellent in that movie. But
dude, she was in the last movie I remember her being in is about, she was like in an underwater thing and they accidentally woke up Cthulhu.
I haven't seen that, but that sounds like something I'd be interested in.
It looks like a good movie, but it's one of those where they tell you everything and not show you stuff. So it's,
Oh, gotcha.
It's a new Hollywood movie.
Okay. Hashtag. But I digress.
Yes, we went way off the rails on that.
We did. It wouldn't be a CKCB episode without it, though.
Yeah, true.
So, anyway.
Back to the topic at hand.
So, after his release, Robinson discovered the internet and he roamed the online chat rooms using the name Slave Master, and he was looking for women who enjoyed playing the submissive partner role during sex.
Yeah.
He had a computer room set up with 2 computers and 5 monitors. This way he could be on multiple sites at one time because internet technology wasn't what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
He was the deviant of dial-up.
The deviant of dial-up. I wish I had the dial-up sound to play right here. Oh, wait. Hey, wait a minute.
What?
Don't you have that kind of setup?
No.
No? Are you sure?
I actually do have 2 computers and 5 monitors. Holy shit.
So, pot meet kettle.
But I have high-speed internet. I use the other computer.
Okay, so that makes you better. Yeah, I got you. So you're not a dial-up deviant. You're a high-speed deviant.
After what I've been through very recently, I am not going to be, doing the dating sites again anytime soon. Fuck
yeah,
that.
You should never do that anyway.
No, especially at my age. All that's on those dating sites are the freaking. All that's on the majority of what's on those dating sites is just people that are just like fucking damaged, just damaged goods.
Yeah.
I admit
or they want money.
Right, that too.
Anyway, sorry. We both have experience with that. It's like you either meet somebody that seems cool, and then you hang out with them, and they're complete freaking psychos, or they just want to do you for money, and that's it. That's all you meet on there.
Yeah, my last one was a little bit of both.
Anyway, moving on.
I'm a little bit gold digger. I'm a little bit psycho.
Fuck yeah! Here we go. Now we're just gonna get fucking canceled everywhere.
Let's talk about me.
I know.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. Anyway, not the point. Moving on.
I didn't mention any names.
No, you didn't.
But he was actually later he was dubbed the first serial killer to use the internet to stalk victims.
Oh.
Which, that has become a thing later on. There's been quite a few of them that have done the exact same thing that he did. But
catfish.
Yeah. Hey, come on over, see me here. I own my own business. I have a 65-foot yacht, and I'm 6'5", 250 pounds, like chiseled rock hard abs and everything. You like potatoes?
And I've got a 10-inch dick.
You like potatoes?
Yeah. Hey, dude, when we met, it was like, that picture on your site is not you, bro.
Well, you see, I went on like a major mashed potato.
I went on a major mashed potato diet. I got tired of being in shape, and I shrunk a foot. And
yeah, and I'll get it back. I'll get it back.
I'll get it back. Yeah, I'll grow that foot back, and yeah. My micro penis will be 10 inches by the time we're done. It'll be all right. Oh, I'm losing sight of the tracks here, Bill. We better get back to it.
It wasn't anything in particular that you said that got me, but it was just the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we went there, dude. We totally did. And yeah, And now here we are.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
An early online correspondent was Sheila Faith. She was 45 years old, and she had a 15-year-old daughter, Debbie, who was confined to a wheelchair due to spinal problems.
Oh, okay.
I guess in that last thing I was foreshadowing what was coming next, because Robinson was portraying himself as a wealthy businessman and a philanthropist. Philanthropist.
So you think he Iron Man then?
Well, this was before Iron Man came out, but
Yeah, but we're doing it after Iron Man, so we can make that comment.
okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, he's Iron Man.
You think he Tony Stark, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist? Jesus, you got me fucked up. I can't even say it. Philanthropist. How hard is that word to say? Jesus Christ. Anyway.
So, yeah, philanthropist and all around great and caring guy. And he offered to pay Debbie's medical expenses, and he's going to give Sheila a job, and he would take care of them.
Mm.
He would zero in on a target's weakness and exploit them.
Yeah,
promising
a real piece
everything.
Of shit. Yeah.
The target never knew the wiser. And Sheila had told her friends that she had met the man of her dreams and he was going to take them on an extended cruise. And she was like really excited to go to Kansas City. She lived in Fullerton, California at the time. So she was like really excited to just uproot everything, her and her daughter, and just go from California to Kansas City. John even agreed to meet them halfway, so he drove to Pueblo, Colorado, and picked them up, and then brought them back to Kansas City.
Alrighty then.
Sheila and Debbie immediately disappeared, and Robinson Cash faced Sheila faced pension checks for the next 7 years, totaling around $80,000.
Wow. I was going to say, did they even make it to Kansas? Probably not.
You know,
it doesn't.
It doesn't say, but you're probably right. He probably just, when he was driving in between Colorado and Kansas City.
There's a lot of empty spaces there.
Yeah. So, he was living very comfortably off of the money of his victims, and most of these women were at near a rock bottom. So it was easy for him to gain their trust and promise them the world. Now we're going to rewind a little bit.
Sherman, set the Wayback Machine for
when John was 19 years old.
Oh.
That 1962.
Okay.
When John was 19, he dated a girl named Barbara Sandre. And they didn't last and they drifted apart, but they held on together and they drifted apart and but they would stay in touch all through the years and everything on the phone and by writing letters and everything. And in the late 90s, he told her that he just had to have her back in his life, so she moved down to be with him. He told her that he had never married. Keep in mind that he is still married at this point.
Yes.
And that his kids were actually his brother's kids who he had adopted after his brother had died in a car wreck.
Oh. Okay.
He told her that he had a high security clearance government job, so she would need to keep a low profile.
A low profile.
And this job was why he had to be away all of the time.
Oh my God. All right.
He put her up in a duplex, and the bed had a stain on it. And he said that stain was because his daughter had a bad period.
Okay.
She was clueless. She bought into all of it. And I don't blame any of his victims for buying into his bullshit. I don't.
No, he was obviously good at it.
Yeah. So he, at the time that he was, that he was with her, he milked $20,000 out of her.
Oh, shit.
But she also said that there was never any BDSM between them. He didn't kill her. She survived.
All right.
She even said in an interview, she's like, if he had brought that up, I would have run away screaming.
Well, good for her.
Yeah. So one day, Barbara got a letter from Nancy Robinson, John's wife, who she never even knew existed. She said that she was his wife and that he had been lying to her, and she was just one of many.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Yeah. So Barbara asked John about Nancy, and John said that she was just an au pair who he had hired to watch the kids when they were little, and that she had been stalking him for years. And Barbara believed him.
Oh, jeez. This poor girl.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
Now keep
An au
mind
pair. Like really? Like, we don't say that word in America, dude. It's like,
no, but look at the
nanny.
time. Look at the time that this happened. The British au pair case, the murder case that happened.
Yeah.
That was on the news at that point, so that's where he got that word from.
I understand. I get that, but at the same time, though, the person should have been aware that we don't call them au pairs here. They're called nannies. Or whatever, you know what I mean?
Or babysitters, or whatever.
Babysitters, yeah. You don't. It's not an au pair here. We don't use that word here.
He's not British.
Oh, fuck me. Anyway, all right, moving on. Sorry.
But
dude, it's easy. It's easy to hindsight is 20/20. It's easy to look.
I know,
back at this shit
and I'm not ragging
that.
I'm not ragging on any of his victims.
No,
I'm not.
Not at all.
But I am just saying that, and I didn't even have this in the notes, but I am just saying that this is the early 90s, which is when the British au pair murder case came out. So that's where John Robinson got that fucking word from.
Oh, I know. No, I got you, and that's fine. But anyway, moving on.
So later,
shortly later,
no,
or later.
And this is it's speculated because just like I'm skipping ahead, and then we're going to go back to present day as far as the timeline is concerned. But
okay,
later he told her that they should move to Canada and she should go scout out places. So she left and she never looked back.
Awesome, good for her. She got a chance. She got a chance to get away and got away. Good for her.
But if you think about it, the law was closing in on him at that point.
Oh yeah.
So he's trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. No,
like
he knows it. Yeah.
This is a couple years later. This is
right.
So. But one time, the Barbara and John had gotten into an argument over the phone, and Barbara asked him, "It's like, look, come talk to me face to face." And John said, "No. If he came over there, his kids would have to visit him in jail." Nice guy.
Well, there's a threat if you ever. No.
Yeah, right. So John became well known in increasingly popular BDSM chat rooms.
Ooh.
So the slave master is doing his slave thing.
Yeah. Slave master's got a slave master.
I don't know. I don't get why somebody would be like, okay, just beat the living shit out of me. I'm not kink shaming. It's just, I just don't get it. That's all.
That's because you're so vanilla. It's not even funny.
Oh, so you have done it. I totally set you up.
Yeah, you did. But no, I mean, even if, no, not really, but I've witnessed it. And, yeah, dude, you are what the BDSM people call vanilla.
I'm proud to be a vanilla man, where at least I know my ass ain't gonna hurt by the time I get done.
Oh, anyway.
In February of 2000, a 27-year-old nurse named Suzette Towton moved from Michigan to Kansas City to be with Robinson as his submissive sex slave.
Okay.
She wanted a master. He wanted a submissive. And he told Suzette that his dad was very old and needed constant care, and that he would pay her $65,000 a year, but she would be his slave all the time unless she was caring for his dad.
Okay.
And she agreed. Anyway.
Yeah.
She and her 2 Pekingese dogs arrived in Kansas City on Valentine's Day 2000. And the first 2 weeks that she was there, he had her at a hotel where they did their BDSM thing nonstop. She never met John's dad. I'm guessing that John's dad was dead at this point.
Yeah, I would probably say so.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on him. You know, it's like when he died. I looked. I couldn't find anything, but John began filming their activities, and this was an escalation because he had never done this before. But it was likely to post online. You know, it's like once, you know, in 2000, it became somewhat easy to do that. It took 6 hours to upload a video, but still,
but it was easy.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
Click upload, go to bed. Wake up, it will be almost done.
Wake up 6 hours later, and it's like 50%.
Yeah, but on March 1st, yeah, granted, she got there on February 14th. March 1st, she was gone.
Oh.
Now, while John was out acting like a family man, you know, he punches his sadistic time clock at 5 o'clock and then goes home and being a family man.
Yeah.
Suzette, she's in the hotel by herself. And so she would call her mom like almost daily. I gotta wonder if she told her mom that is why she went to Kansas City. I'm gonna go basically be sexually abused by choice by this fucking potato-looking old motherfucker. And if you're wondering why we keep talking about the potato, just listen to our episode on Ron Dominique. And if you're a new listener, I met that guy.
Yeah.
So, but she was talking to her mom almost daily and everything, and suddenly the calls stopped. And her mom obviously got suspicious, so she called the Kansas City police. The police had cases that John was tied to, you know, like missing person cases and everything. And now here's another one. So now the entire Kansas City Police Department was looking at John as a potential serial killer.
All right. About time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame Kansas City. They were doing the best with what they had, and sometimes, unfortunately, it's just, and this guy was so good at covering his tracks.
Yeah. No, it's not their fault. They were doing their job.
And bullshitting.
It's not like the other police department, but we ain't going to talk about it anymore.
So, this, you want to talk about some good police good police work? Listen to this.
All right.
A task force was put together to work the case nonstop.
All right. Task force.
John was trailed and he was studied, but they didn't come up with anything because John was good. But John lived in a trailer park where everybody knew everybody and all the trailers were like really close together and everything.
Yeah.
And actually, when you say the pictures from it actually looked like one of these like really nice trailer parks that you would see here in Florida for like 55 and up.
Okay, like double wides. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Nice.
Yeah,
but really close together, and everybody knows everybody. Mm-hmm. But John was good. But they couldn't just like park inside the trailer park because that would raise suspicion. But there was a house across and up the street sitting on top of a hill where the owner actually let them watch from.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah. So the officer would be sitting, just sitting in like Bermuda shorts and a freaking, it's like drinking a margarita. He's got the button-up shirt with the tropical prints on it and everything.
Yeah.
And by the way, R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett.
Yes, R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett.
That's where I was going with that. But still, he's just sitting out there and everything. Yeah, and he's just watching, waiting for him to move. And when John would come out of the parking lot, he'd radio in. I was like, he's gone. And then people, like officers and like regular looking cars would just kind of tail him wherever they went.
Right on.
Brilliant.
Yes.
But it gets even better.
Even
better. The officer that was like there, he was the scout, and I'm guessing that the scout like might have changed from time to time. I doubt it was the same guy. Just
surveillance studios switch, yeah.
But still, it was far enough off the road to where you wouldn't be able to see, hey, that's a different guy than was sitting on the lawn chair yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they would do that, but the guy or one of the guys even mowed the guy's lawn a couple of times just to add legitimacy to him being there. guys like he's probably getting paid by the police department to let him use his property, and now he gets his lawn mowed for free.
Right
like,
on.
holy shit, hell yeah.
Well, dude, that's proper fucking surveillance there. You can't just be sitting there with a telescope looking at somebody.
Right.
You gotta act like you belong there.
Right. But no, I just thought that detail was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that is cool.
Fucking the officer actually mowed the guy's lawn several times.
Yeah, that's cool. Got to do everything to maintain cover.
They would even borrow a garbage truck on garbage days, picking up trash and going through it.
Wow, they really got into this.
Yeah. So they found letters that had been shredded, but they were able to put them back together.
Oh, yeah. You can do that.
Yeah. So John had a piece of property like a ways away from there that he intended to build on at some point. Put a knife in that.
Knife in.
All right. Suzette Towton's mother received several typed letters signed by her daughter and purportedly mailed while the couple was abroad. But all of these letters had Kansas City postmarks. And
oops.
But the letters were also, according to her mother, uncharacteristically free of typographical errors. Like, meaning that Suzette wasn't the best typist.
Right.
And these were like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the police set up a phone tap in Suzette's mother's house. Towton's mother had John's phone number from the conversations that she had been having with Suzette before she disappeared. So they had her mother call John, and John would usually isolate the women from their families, but he hadn't in this case.
Oh.
Like I said, he would punch out from his deviant behavior at 5:00 and then go home and punch into the family man thing. Right. But he left her alone at the hotel. So police recorded the conversation. And John told Towton's mother that she had run off with some guy some time ago, and that was the last he had seen or heard from her.
Okay.
And she had sent a postcard to her mother saying that they were taking off, but that postcard was sent from Kansas City. She's like, and John was, there. One of these days we're gonna put these fucking, these calls on the podcast. One of these days we're gonna start doing that. But,
all right.
But not today.
Not today.
She's just like, well, maybe I'll just call the police. Because it wasn't like Suzette to not be in touch. And John's like, why? She's a big girl. You know how young people are these days. And he was just toying with her.
Right.
And the police literally got nothing that they could use out of this conversation. They knew he was full of shit, but there was nothing that they could prove. There was nothing. He didn't volunteer. He didn't slip up one single time.
Yeah.
And the phone conversation was like 20 minutes long. He didn't slip up at all. This guy's a fucking expert.
Well, yeah.
He should have been a fucking defense attorney.
Or anything but a serial killer, but
Or an embezzler or a forger and all that stuff. It's like with his bullshit skills, I mean, he could have been a very competent defense attorney.
Yeah, make a whole lot more money than he is scamming people.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I was getting at.
Mm-hmm.
But police had John's house phones tapped on they had a court order to allow it. And he would bring lots of women in from elsewhere. And he would put them all up in hotels and they'd have BDSM sex and everything and they would leave unharmed. So it's just like he wasn't just killing everybody that came his way. It's just only certain people that maybe like kind of like, I like you, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
So the police would book the hotel room next to his, and they intended to break in if he was hurting them. But with all the BDSM, how can you make that call?
Yeah.
And luckily they didn't, luckily somebody pointed that out to them. It's like, look, just because they're screaming and hollering and all that stuff doesn't mean that he's killing them.
Yeah.
Not in this situation.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that whatever officer came forward with that bit of information, I would imagine everybody in the police department looked at him a little bit differently after that.
Yeah, probably. Like, and you know this how?
No, but still, but good. But they didn't. But still, they didn't just blow the. They didn't just blow their wad and just ruin their case.
Yeah.
So
they didn't ruin their case. All right.
Right.
Well, at least they took that. At least they took the BDSM police officer serious.
Right. So it's like,
and they were like, okay, you know this because, and then
knock the door down.
Like, and he went like, because I'm into that kind of stuff, and that's what happens.
Yeah. So
you're off the force, boy, but we'll take your advice.
Once again, great police work.
Yes,
from Kansas City.
Absolutely.
But if you're in the next room, what is actual distress versus what is voluntary BDM distress?
Yeah.
It's just like you can't tell because some of that shit. Some of those people go crazy, and this guy was fucking crazy.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that, it's just like, if somebody did the shit that he was doing to a woman, and it wasn't BDSM related, that man's going away for a long time.
Oh yeah.
So it's just, I just don't. I'm not kink shaping. If you're into that, that's fine. It's just not for me. I don't get it.
Like I said, it's because you're vanilla, but it's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with being vanilla.
All right, stop, collaborate, and listen.
Anyway.
One woman that he had a thing with, she had about $700 worth of sex toys with her. And it doesn't say, like, where she came from, but he imported her just like he did with all the others. They got into an argument, and he stole her toys.
Uh-oh.
She reported the theft to the police. She reported the theft to the police, and then the police arrested that like what happened earlier. Just get him off the street.
Yeah.
Well, this time they got him for stealing $700 worth of sex toys.
Oh boy. Jesus.
He was arrested at his home, and as he was being led out, he said with a smirk on his face, "You're making quite a production out of this. You got nothing on me." If you say to a cop that's arresting you, "You got nothing on me," that means, yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't found it yet, but if you're saying that to us,
don't encourage the police. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, in that situation, you know what I mean? It's like, don't taunt the police like that, because they've already got you, boy. You're fucked. It's like, they're just waiting.
You got nothing on me. I mean, nothing will trigger a cop more than somebody saying, "You got nothing on me," because you know what? If you say that, they know that there's something. They may not have anything, and at that point,
they may not. You may be right.
At that point, they didn't.
Oh, but they will.
But you know what? You say that, you may be right. I may be crazy. But you just may be the lunatic we're looking for.
Oh boy. True though.
Yeah, it is. Don't provoke the police.
Yeah. Don't. Just don't.
But if you're a serial killer, go ahead, provoke them all you want. But don't be the "Oh, I'm a sovereign citizen. You have no."
Oh God, you had to bring the soft sit into this.
When they pull you over for driving 10 miles over the speed limit, "I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't have to do anything." Don't provoke the police.
I have a right to travel. What do you mean you don't have a driver's license and your tag is expired? I have a right to travel. It says so. Fuck those soft sits, dude. Fuck them, dude. They're fucking idiots.
So, of course, they got a warrant to search his house.
Of course they did.
And when they did, they found papers on the various victims, including Lisa Stasi. There were, among the papers they found on her, they found a receipt for her stay at the Roadway Inn back in 1985.
Oh.
Where she had disappeared from.
Yes. All right. Now we're getting somewhere.
I love this story. I really do. I hate the guy, but I love the story.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the fucking police work that can. Hit the applause for Kansas City Police.
Hold on.
So, they also found out that he had 2 storage units, one in Kansas, plain old Kansas. One in Missouri. And they also found victims' driver's license, birth certificates, etc. Personal effects and everything of all of the missing women. They searched a piece of property that John had owned, and they brought out the piece of property that he was going to build on later.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought in a cadaver dog, and he hit on 2 barrels.
Oh.
It's a good boy. It's a good boy.
Barrels.
One had blood on it. They opened it, and it was Suzette Taunton.
Oh shit.
The other one had a body in it. It was a girl named Isabella Luica, and she hadn't been on anybody's radar up until that point.
Oh, all right.
Back in 1999, he had offered a job and a bonded relationship to Isabel Lubica, a 19-year-old Polish immigrant who was living in Indiana that he had met online. She signed a 115-item slave contract that gave Robinson her body and almost control over every aspect of her life, including her bank accounts.
Ooh.
And I gotta wonder, are those contracts legal? Like the BDSM contract, are they legal, or are they just like understood to be?
It depends on if it's like a legal contract, like a lawyer wrote it up and a lawyer is there when it's signed, then it's legal. Otherwise, I think it's just kind of an understood thing.
Oh, okay. No lawyer is going to sign off on that, or no notary.
Well, I mean, not for him, but I mean, and again, I'm going back to 50 Shades of Grey because the main character, the guy that was the dom in that, and the girl that he was interested in, she had to sign a contract because, well, he had a shit ton of money though, so he was protecting himself. You know what I mean?
Oh, but
I mean, the contract also, like, what you can and cannot do. I mean, that's in it too. But basically, it's to, like, if this relationship ends, you don't get to sue me for the shit I did to you. Basically.
So, but if she decides that she wants out, let's say it's a year contract.
Yeah.
And then 6 months into it, she decides, "Hey, I'm out." Could he sue her?
Him probably not. I mean, the guy we're talking about, no, because there's no way that was legal.
Okay, because I would really hate to be a judge or an attorney in that case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, any good attorney would go, this is not a legal binding contract. I mean, well, so they'd find ways to do it, but I mean, I guess it depends on how it's worded. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know these things.
But can you imagine? It's just like you signed a contract for a year of basically being this guy's
being a slave,
freaking whipping post and being a slave and everything. No, you have 6 months to cover. Yeah, you have 6 months to go in that. So get back in there and do.
Yeah.
I don't.
And then, I mean, I don't know this guy seems pretty smart, so he may have had a breach of contract clause in there, you know, but
still, you can't force somebody to do. I don't know.
You can't. No, in that kind of thing, no, you don't force anybody to do anything. It has to be consensual.
But if she wants out and then he sues her because she wants out,
that probably wouldn't. I don't think that would fly. I don't think that would hold up in court.
Thank God, because damn.
But don't hold me to that, because like I said, I ain't a lawyer. I don't know, but I don't think that would hold up in court. Anyway,
you know what? I'm sure that case is coming at some point. I really am. That case is going to make the news at some point. You know.
Oh, what? Like a BDSM contract being violated or something?
Yeah, the way things are going in this world right now, that it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah,
it will. And goddamn, I would hate to be a fucking judge or an attorney in that case.
Yeah, especially nowadays. Jesus. Anyway, moving on. Let's finish this. Big finish. Let's go.
So, when she moved to Kansas City, John introduced her. And keep in mind, she's 19 and he's like older than we are at this point. But I'm only 30. Well, 29. I'm 50. I'll be turning 50 on September 7th. Wish me happy birthday. It'll be late because this episode's like a week and a half out. So,
yeah.
But still, wish me happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bill.
And that way I know that you're listening.
There you go.
Happy belated birthday, Bill.
Yep.
Happy 50. Anyway, John introduced her as his daughter, but he was with her longer than any of his other victims, like over a year. And the police even found a marriage license with their names on it.
Oh.
And she and John weren't married, obviously, because he already had a wife.
Yeah.
You know? But she had told her parents that she had married a man, but she never told them her husband's name.
I wonder why.
Because he's a potato.
Because he's a potato. And then, yeah. No, you can't tell anybody about it, but yeah, we're married. It's fine.
Yeah, we're married. Yep. Love you, baby. Come mash me, baby.
Now get in that fucking stock so I can whip your ass.
I'm serious. If you look at pictures of this guy, and I'm gonna post them and everything, he looks like Ron Dominique in stature. He looks like a potato.
Okay.
In 1999, Louika disappeared, and Robinson told a web designer that he had employed for his business, whatever the hell that was,
Right.
that she had been caught smoking marijuana and been deported.
All right. I mean, okay. I do. Well, I mean, dude, that's a good cover. It is.
It is a good cover, but still, come on, man.
I know, right? Oh, gee. Anyway.
The police, at this point, because they had been like wiretapping and everything, and he had still been in contact with Barbara Sandre, even though she had told him to, I'm done with you. There's something shady going on here or whatever. But they told her about the charges against John, and she, of course, was horrified.
As you
Buckle up, Buttercup, because this is fucked up.
All right, here we go.
She gave them permission to search the duplex that she had been staying in, and it turned out that every bit of the furniture into it had belonged to Isabella.
Oh.
The blood stain that was on the bed where she had slept was also Isabella's.
Oh.
And it wasn't from a period.
No, obviously not.
Isabella was an artist, and there were paintings that she had done all over the duplex. But John said that he had painted them and put JR in the bottom corner.
God. Oh, man. This guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Now, remember what I said that some of the letters that people were getting came from out of the country?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of victims' families got letters postmarked from Europe, and police couldn't figure out how he was doing this because he wasn't traveling abroad.
Right.
Turns out that Barbara was in Europe at the time. This was before he enticed her. So when she came, she came from Europe.
Mm-hmm.
He had asked her to send letters from there because his daughter collected international stamps and postmarks.
Oh.
It's in the late 90s. Nobody collects stamps anymore. But he would send sealed envelopes with pre-addressed to the families where they're intended to,
Mm-hmm.
with no return address on them, and then Barbara would unknowingly mailed them.
And mailed them back.
Yeah, mailed them to the addresses that she just put a stamp on it and sent it out. Why she didn't ask? Well, your daughter lives with you. Why am I sending this to freaking Arizona or whatever? You know, but oh man. But still, once again, master bullshit artist.
Yep. Fuck. All right.
Maybe it was something like, oh, my daughter's, traveling abroad or whatever. So I just, you know what? That's probably exactly what it was.
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, she lives with me, but yeah, she's in Arizona right now. She's doing
I mean,
this.
Arizona never came up. That was just the first state.
You know what I mean. But yeah, she's over here now. She's
right
visiting somebody, and I need to send her, whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Who knows?
So then they searched the Missouri storage room, and they found 3 barrels that included Beverly Bonner, Sheila Faith, and her 15-year-old daughter, Debbie.
Oh.
These women had been beaten with a hammer.
Okay, that's not BDSM.
Nope.
Oh, Jesus. Beaten. Fuck.
So he was charged with the capital murder of Lisa Stasi, Suzette Taunton, and Isabella Luica. And in court, a 39-minute video was shown, and it was the encounter with John and Suzette, the one that he had videotaped. Probably posted online. I don't want to see it. But,
no.
And he's barking out commands with no emotion. He's robotic. Nothing like his normal, I'm just a good guy demeanor,
Right.
You might say that he was monotone.
Yeah, well, it happens.
That's never going away. We were never going to stop ragging on that, whoever you were.
I mean, yeah, it is. Anyway.
But
yeah.
But in a stroke of irony, the tape was recorded over Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
And even though it was coincidence, the symbolism wasn't lost on the people in the courtroom because of the fact that it's like, okay, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that's the original one with Gene Wilder.
Yes.
This is prior to the one with Johnny Depp coming out where it was called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But this is, that one's, it's just like, it's a kid's movie. It's fun, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's actually pretty dark, but
it is.
But still, it's just, and then all of a sudden it's recorded over with that.
Yeah. Right.
So there was symbolism there. And like I said, people picked up on that. John was found guilty and sentenced to death, and this was in Kansas. He would then stand trial in Missouri for Beverly Bonner, Debbie, and Sheila Faith.
Mm.
And that came with a plea deal. The plea deal was he pled guilty to these murders as well as the murders of Paula Godfrey, Lisa Stasi, and Catherine Clampett. But he wouldn't reveal exactly what happened to them. So it was just like a little last grasp of chaos,
Right.
Just like, I'm still working this somewhat. But remember Lisa's baby Tiffany?
Uh-huh.
Did you forget about the baby?
Be
honest.
Yeah, I did. Dude, we've been doing this for a long This is a long one.
This is a long one. I didn't think it would be this long.
It's a long one, yeah. That was like at the beginning of the story. Anyway.
A few days later, after Lisa disappeared, Robinson contacted his brother and sister-in-law, who had been unable to, they wanted to adopt a baby.
Oh.
And they were unable to do it through the traditional route. Why, I don't know, it doesn't say. But he contacted them saying he knew of a baby whose mother had killed herself.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
So for $5,500 in, quote, legal fees,
oh, God,
the couple received Tiffany, whose identity was later confirmed by DNA testing in 2000. He also had a set of authentic appearing adoption papers with forged signatures of 2 lawyers and a judge.
Holy shit. Oh, okay.
The whole Kansas City outreach thing was a front to get some easy money from his brother. It had nothing to do with care for his brother. It was a one and done scam. There's actually a Polaroid of John, his actual wife, his wife Nancy, and their 4 kids, and Tiffany on his lap. And this picture was likely taken just hours after John had killed Lisa.
Oh, damn.
This is just days before his unwitting brother had come to Kansas City to get Tiffany. John's family had no idea about any of this. But let's recap. He killed a mother to get a baby for free and then charged his brother for it. Fuck me, dude. This guy is quite possibly the biggest piece of shit that we've ever covered.
I would say so.
I mean, yeah, there's been some depraved fucking lunatics that we've covered and everything, but just the fucking psychological aspect of this fucking chucklehead. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, wow.
So he did that whole thing just to get his brother a kid.
Yeah.
And charge him for it.
He had no idea of, he had no intention of continuing it. That's why when he got brought into Hames' office, Stephen Hames' office and everything, when he came in there, he was just like, oh, we're just trying to give back to the community. It was just a nonchalant. He had already done what he set out to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because, I just want my brother to be able to have a child because maybe his wife couldn't conceive. I don't know. Maybe he had a low sperm count. I don't know. It didn't say. But for whatever reason, he's just like, okay, cha-ching. And it's just like, God.
Jesus. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest piece of shit that we covered. This guy didn't give a fuck about anybody. No. Not even his own family.
Yeah, geez. I mean, oh man, fuck.
At least BTK loved his family.
Yeah.
This guy didn't give 2 shits about his family.
Mm.
So Tiffany had been named Heather by John's brother, and you know what? No shade on John. No shade on John whatsoever. He had no fucking clue. Hold on. Let me back that up. No shade on John's brother.
There you go.
Because he had no fucking clue. Damn.
I was about to say something.
Yeah, this is a lot longer than I thought that it was going to go.
That's all right.
Tiffany was named Heather, and she lived her life with John's brother and sister-in-law. And at this point, why break them up?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I get it. It sucks for the family, but you also got to think about the kid and everything. I mean, John's brother had no clue that any of this bullshit went on.
Right.
So Nancy, the kids, John's kids and John's brother made statements saying that they knew nothing about any of this, and I believe them. Because he was such an expert bullshit artist. And Nancy quickly divorced John after the conviction. John got life in Missouri, and he, as a result of that plea deal, but he remains on death row in Kansas. But he's probably going to die in prison because Kansas hasn't executed anyone since 1965.
Yeah. All right.
And that's all I got.
All right. So that was the twist, though, was that he did all that shit to get his brother a kid?
Yep, that was the swerve.
All right, not quite the twist I was expecting, but...
What were you expecting?
I don't know, something really weird. But anyway.
No, but that is really fucking weird, though.
It is. No, it is. It is weird, because after everything that we've been talking about, I did not expect that was done just for that.
Yeah, it's just like when we were talking about that, when we were talking about the situation, the Kansas City outreach program, you thought that it was a scam that he was going to run like long term.
Yeah.
And
But it wasn't.
then it just went away. It was just so he could milk his brother.
Well, I mean, yeah, that sucks, but hey.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Jesus. Anyway, all right. Fuck me, dude. This guy's a fucking. Dude, I don't even think piece of shit is strong enough word for him. Anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely probably overall the biggest piece of shit that we've covered.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just, he wasn't just a random, serial killer. Like, he wasn't Pee Wee Gaskins. He wasn't Richard Ramirez. Yeah. He wasn't BTK. Actually, BTK would probably look at what he did and be like, "That's fucked up,"
and that's bad.
Yeah. And speaking of BTK, I think we covered that we might be doing BTK earlier than. Yeah, I think we covered that in the intro, but
yeah, we did say something about that.
Yeah, so
because didn't BTK win the poll that you put out? Wasn't that it?
Yeah, well, the poll's still ongoing. So it's like people are gonna be like, it's just like, what the fuck? We guessed, but you didn't do any of those.
Don't worry. We're
gonna get to Carl Panzram, and we're gonna get to the BTK redo, and we are gonna get to the Anthill kids too.
They're all coming. I promise.
Bay Harbor Butcher, not so much, because we already got you once, and we're not going to be able to get you again.
Yeah. Yeah. And no more April Fool's jokes. It ain't going to work again.
Nope. And honestly, if we did the Bay Harbor Butcher, everybody would know it was. Yeah. But
that's not one you can just do and pretend that it's a joke. I mean, not pretend that it's not a joke.
Yeah, but if you're actually, I'm not going to say what episode it is because I don't want new listeners to know that it's coming.
Yeah, you'll just have to figure it out.
Yeah. You'll never see it. You'll never see it coming until the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I kind of gave it away. Never mind.
But
anyway.
Oh man, what a crazy story that was. I mean, that's just like you see why I wanted to push Panzram back another week and do this one?
I do. This was a good one.
For our first episode that we've actually recorded back after a fucking month of not doing any of them. I mean, that I wrote these notes. I'm just like, no, this is good. And I had heard that story before, but it had been a while since I'd heard any podcasts about this one and everything. So I'm just like, all right, let's do this one. And I get into it, and it's just like, yeah, that's the next one. Sorry, Carl.
He'll get over it.
No, I won't. I'm going to haunt you. I'm going to kill you in your sleep, my ghost.
Yeah, I don't believe in ghosts, so fuck off.
Are you a god?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
Yeah, fuck off.
Anyway, thank you for listening. We appreciate the hell out of it. We hope you enjoyed this episode because we sure as hell did. This was, I think this is probably going to be one of my new favorite episodes.
But it was a good one.
So, follow us on our socials. It's all linked on our website, X or Twitter, Facebook, Discord. We have a Discord, Patreon. We have a Patreon. And the first subscriber to our Patreon is going to get a free T-shirt
that I'm wearing right here.
Yeah, like that. And let's see, what else do we have?
I mean, you're not going to get this shirt that I'm wearing, but you're going to get one like it
if the price is right.
Ooh.
Maybe they'll want to have you like go out and do some yard work in it and everything, and then mail it to them without washing it.
Hey, anything for a price.
Patreon, Discord, what else?
YouTube.
There's nothing on it yet, but there will be soon. And I think that's all we have.
Instagram? Did you say Instagram?
Instagram, yes, Instagram. We have an Instagram page, and it is growing. So
yeah,
I put it together a couple of days ago, and it's growing slowly but surely.
Yes, but very. I hate saying this, but everything's going to have content on it soon. Probably by the time you're hearing this, most of it'll probably be going with content. There'll be something there.
With Discord, I mean, we're doing like episode commentary and everything. We're posting the episodes. Eventually, people will find it and they'll get in there and they'll start talking about the episodes.
Yeah, but Discord's kind of a work in progress.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. And if you like us, tell a friend. If you hate us, tell an enemy. And until next week, later.
Cheers, everybody.